A few weeks ago, I did a video rounding up my favorite Steam Deck accessories. I recommended products to protect the device, and I said I didn't really feel it was necessary to buy a protective case. While that was true at the time, I also couldn't find one I particularly liked. Well, I may have changed my mind. Wait. Okay, I'm aware of the current drama unfolding around this case, and don't worry, I'll be getting to that too. Okay, let's go. Dbrand, the company known for premium phone skins and snarky social media comments, has started making accessories to complement Valve's popular new handheld. While they've been making skins and tempered glass for the device for some time now, they've also been laboring away quietly on a protective case they've cleverly codenamed Project Killswitch. The Killswitch case can be ordered in one of two kits. The Essentials kit comes with the case, kickstand, and skin for $60. The Travel kit comes with the same accessories but also includes stick grips and a hard plastic travel cover for an extra $15. The travel cover connects to the case and protects the front of the device. Dbrand shared their market research they conducted when designing these bundles and found that many Steam Deck owners already had a screen protector installed. For this reason, neither kit comes with a screen protector, but that can be added for an additional $20. This is normally the point in the video where I'd tell you where you can buy this product, except you actually can't anymore. As of this video, Dbrand has ceased production of the Killswitch and now won't be shipping the product again until next year after significant revisions are made. I'll cover that whole fiasco in just a minute. When I unbox a product, there's typically not much worth mentioning, but this is a rare situation where there's quite a lot to talk about. The box is made of a rubberized matte black coating that is not your average cardboard. The top, right, and bottom of the box are adorned with a glossy black outline that traces the profile of the Steam Deck, enclosed by the protective case. Instead of tape or tabs, the box is sealed by a set of hidden magnets. A side mounting hinge allows the box to be opened fully on a flat surface, no doubt to make it easier for social media influencers to film, like I'm doing right now. A pocket on the left side contains the skin and microfiber cleaning cloth. The right side houses the case, travel cover, and stick grips. I ordered the Essential kit, so I wasn't expecting to see a travel cover, but I was pleasantly surprised to find a pair of stick grips. The interior is lined with about ½ an inch of foam on all sides, and there's something really comical about seeing this much padding to protect an empty case. The walls of the box are extremely thick, providing excellent structural rigidity. This is the kind of box that I'd feel guilty just throwing away, so if you have ideas on how I could repurpose it, let me know. Dbrand's bread and butter are their 3M vinyl skins, and both the Killswitch Essential and Travel kits come with one. But unlike the skins you can buy from Dbrand separately, the skin included with the Killswitch only covers the portion of the deck that remains enclosed with the case on. The skin attaches like a sticker, but a hairdryer is needed to adhere the corners cleanly around the curved edges. The stick grips included with my Killswitch are orange and blue. Buying the Travel kit includes a set of black stick grips. They attach by sliding over the top of the Steam Deck's thumbsticks. Dbrand claims these provide additional grip, a more pronounced convex profile, and increase the stick height by 33%. For those concerned about gyro controls, the capacitive sensors still work with the grips installed. They also provide a layer of protection to prevent the Steam Deck's thumbstick material from wearing out. The case has an industrial look that matches the form over function presence of the Steam Deck. The walls are thick and should keep the Steam Deck safe in the event of a moderate accident. Purposeful projections protrude port side to pad perfectly proportional partitions and provide protection for ports and power. There are 3 more of these ridges on the bottom, but I suspect those are more for symmetry. At first glance, the case appears to be a single slab of hard rubber. However, closer inspection reveals there are actually at least 5 different materials in use. The back panel provides most of the structural support and is made of a single piece of hard plastic. Surrounding this plastic is a hard rubber that makes up the centerpiece and most of the interior lining. The side grips are coated with a high-density microscopic ridge texture. Each side also has 4 liquid black grip strips for added handleability. Finally, the inner back panel is covered in a suede-like material. Even though the Killswitch is designed to fit the Steam Deck snugly, there will still be micro movements that occur over the months and years, and this lining is provided to protect the finish of the Steam Deck. The case attaches to the Steam Deck by placing the bottom in first and then wrapping it over the top, using caution to make sure the triggers are out of the way and the buttons make it underneath the side of the case. Unlike the popular Nintendo Switch, the Steam Deck does not have a built-in kickstand. The Killswitch resolves this by integrating a kickstand into the back panel. For now, the attachment connects to the body of the Killswitch via a magnetic plate, but as I'll explain in a minute, that's about to change. From the moment I pulled the box out of the bag, I was impressed by the quality of the experience. I don't normally take this much B-roll of an empty box, but here we are. Applying the skin to the surface of the Steam Deck was more tedious than expected, but I can't argue with the finished result. Considering I used a heat gun to perform my own custom hardline water cooling for my PC, this actually wasn't too bad. Just be prepared to take it slow. The quality of the skin is notable as it's surprisingly thick and its adherence strength is greater than I expected. The edges of skins always seem to be the first to go, so thankfully dbrand made sure to conceal most of the edges under the protective case. Just use caution when you're putting the case on because it can pull the skin up if you're not careful. dbrand made a great tutorial on their YouTube channel for applying everything from the Killswitch kit. I'll link it in the description. The stick grips are no joke and are noticeably grippier than the stock Steam Deck thumbsticks. I'm also not convinced the orange and blue circles aren't a subtle Portal reference. But black replacements can be purchased separately from the Killswitch kits. I also included affiliate links to a few Steam Deck compatible options on Amazon. And if you're curious how stick grips can affect gaming performance, I made a dedicated video on the subject right here. While the stick grips, skin, and travel cover are nice add-ons, the heart of this kit is the actual case. Let me just start by saying the quality of the case is phenomenal. It's supportive where it needs to be while remaining comfortable in the hand. The cutouts line up perfectly with the device I/O, and it doesn't interfere with any buttons or triggers. It's evident that a lot of time went into deciding on both the material and texture used on each segment of the case. I really appreciate the way the handles feel on either side. The micro bumps are like a fine grit rubber sandpaper, in a good way. Not only is the Steam Deck now easier to hold, but it's less likely to break in the event of an accident. I was not sent a Steam Deck or this Killswitch case for review and had to buy them myself. As these are my own personal property, I will not be performing a drop test. I hope you can forgive me. For what it's worth, the case feels substantial and I imagine would protect the Steam Deck in the event of a low to moderate fall. The case is thick enough to provide adequate protection, but not too thick to prevent it from fitting in the carrying case that came with the Steam Deck. It is a tight fit though. You will need to remove the travel cover and kickstand if you plan to use the carrying case. I'm sure there are many protective cases out there that feel great and would do a decent job protecting the Steam Deck. What really sets the Killswitch apart is the magnetic interface on the back. Every Killswitch comes with a magnetized kickstand attachment. The magnet is strong enough to comfortably support the weight of the Steam Deck, but will break loose if enough pressure is applied. The pattern of the magnetized interface allows the attachment to be applied at 90-degree angles. While mounting the kickstand at a different orientation doesn't really have any benefit, it makes more sense when you realize dbrand has other accessories planned in the future that could leverage this flexibility. They've already teased a few of these, but I think a battery bank or a USB-C hub that attaches right to the back would be awesome additions. If executed properly, this could spawn an entire ecosystem of compatible attachments. That brings us to a significant problem. This seemingly simple feature is the cause of all the drama surrounding this product right now. The magnetic interface that holds the kickstand to the case is actually slowing the internal fan of some Steam Decks. This information was provided by The Verge as Killswitch orders were being sent out. So why didn't dbrand catch this issue in their testing? Evidently, early models of the Steam Deck used a fan supplied by Delta. Valve later started sourcing fans from Huaying as these fans were found to be quieter. For whatever reason, the magnet only affects the early Delta fans and not the later Huaying fans. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to tell definitively what fan a given Steam Deck has without cracking it open. Upon learning of this issue, dbrand opened the Steam Decks they had for testing and found they were all using the Huaying fans. dbrand then placed an immediate halt on all new orders to prevent more faulty devices from going out. Because of this, dbrand is ditching magnets altogether for a mechanical interlock system instead. The case will need to be retooled to support such a drastic change, and this is going to take some time. They estimate January of next year before they can begin shipping the refreshed product. So what is dbrand doing to make it right? Customers looking to buy the Killswitch fall into one of three categories. A few months ago, dbrand opened pre-orders. This is when I placed my reservation. Then on Sunday, September 25th, those who had a reservation were sent an email with a link to place an order and make their final payment. I completed my order and paid for my Killswitch within an hour of getting that email. Sometime between Sunday and Wednesday, dbrand was made aware of the Kickstand issue and halted all new orders. If you're like me and reserved the Killswitch early and completed your order before they stopped accepting them, you are in category number 1. These customers will be the first to receive the updated version. They will not be charged again, and they will not need to return the defective case. Although the Kickstand can cause issues, dbrand has assured customers that the rest of the Killswitch is safe to use in the meantime. The second category of users made a reservation but did not complete their order before dbrand stopped accepting them. These people will retain their place in the queue and will be the second group of individuals who will have the ability to complete their order for the new Killswitch next year. Those who did not make a reservation and did not place an order can pre-order the Killswitch now and will be the third group of people to receive the device. While I'm by no means an expert, I do have a business degree where I learned about logistics, supply chain management, production optimization, and international transportation. Even with the little knowledge I do have, I know this mistake has to be astronomically expensive. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars of material that was made into cases that now can't be used. Tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars in labor costs for the man-hours needed to research, develop, test, and market a new system. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for new molds, new supply contracts for parts of the new interlock system they now need to source, contract cancellation penalties for the supplier of the magnets that won't be used, and likely compounded interest on any secured capital that maybe won't be paid back now until next year. There's also non-tangible expenses like lost consumer trust, diminished interest in the product, and the fact that they've now left the door wide open to competitors. With all that said, I think dbrand is doing the right things. Would it have been better for them to catch this issue first? Well, yeah, and I don't think anyone wants that more than dbrand. But here we are. While customers will need to wait longer than expected, ultimately everyone will either receive the updated version or get a full refund. dbrand was refreshingly communicative during this process and blasted this information all over their social media platforms, media outlets, and on Reddit forums. They even dropped their typical sarcastic tone to deliver this information as clearly as possible. While I support calling out companies for poor business practices, I think it's equally important to recognize them when they do the right thing. While the Killswitch is relatively unique at the moment, the competitive landscape could change quite a bit by the time the finished product releases. When I did my first Steam Deck accessories video just a few weeks ago, there weren't many options out there for cases for the Steam Deck, let alone cases with a kickstand. A quick Amazon search today reveals quite a few results, and to make matters worse, these all seem to hover around the $20 to $25 range, far removed from dbrand's $60 starting price. Despite the obvious faults with the current iteration, dbrand has created a well thought out and high quality case for the Steam Deck. However, I do wonder if consumers are willing to wait out the revision window when they could just get something today for less than half the price. I've provided affiliate links to well-reviewed options if you decide to go that route, and I also included a link to dbrand's pre-order page if you choose to wait it out instead. It's tough to give a recommendation to an unfinished product that you can't actually buy yet, but I can say initial impressions are very promising. As far as the price is concerned, for me, spending $60 on a case to protect a device that costs me well over $500 seems proportionate. Regardless, I am looking forward to receiving the finalized product. Depending on how well this video does, I could make another video in a few months reviewing the updated version of the Killswitch. Since I'm in that first category of customers who received the faulty version, I'll be near the front of the line for the updated one. Let me know if you want to see that by commenting and hitting the like button. In the meantime, check out my other Steam Deck videos and subscribe to see more. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.